I need to spill this out because keeping it inside has been eating at me. Maybe it'll make sense to you. Maybe it won't. But if you've ever loved someone so much only to realize it wasn't enough to make them stay, then maybe you'll feel this in your bones. The night I walked away, something inside me broke and shifted forever. I didn't know then how deep that crack would run. I only knew that months later I'd still be sitting here trying to untangle the wreckage of something I once believed was unshakable. I thought I was strong enough to leave without falling apart. But the truth was, I was already in pieces before I touched the doorknob. I can still picture the room, the living room with that worn rug we bought secondhand. The same rug where we laughed, dreamed, and promised each other forever. A forever that slipped right through our fingers. Then she said it. Michael makes me feel alive. Her voice was barely above a whisper, but the blow landed harder than any scream could. I didn't demand details. I didn't argue. I didn't even meet her eyes. Tears burned, but I refused to let them fall. Not in front of her. Not after that. All I managed was, I hope he gives you what you're searching for. Even then, I knew I was lying because deep inside, I prayed what she wanted wasn't real. I wanted her to see I'd been the one who never left, the one who kept showing up when no one else did. But I didn't fight for her because begging someone to stay when they've already pictured life without you is just another way of dying slowly. So I left, not because I stopped loving her, but because I knew she was already gone. The nights that followed were brutal. Sleep abandoned me. Food tasted like ash. I hid in a cheap motel outside the city, 40 minutes away from the home we'd built. The silence pressed down on me as I stared at the ceiling, replaying every misstep, every word I should have spoken. My phone lit up with calls from friends and family, but I ignored them all. I couldn't stand their pity. Eventually, I found myself in a small apartment that wasn't tied to her or to us, just mine. I picked up shifts at a hardware store to fill the empty hours. The owner, an older man, never asked about my life. Maybe he could sense I wasn't there for money, just for a reason to keep moving. Days bled into weeks, and slowly I built a rhythm. I painted walls. I brought home a rescue dog, Penny. She didn't fix me, but she gave me something to come back to, a reason to step out of bed. I realized I didn't miss Brooke. Not really. What I missed was the idea of her, the version in my head who would always choose me, who would never walk away. That version had never truly existed. By 6 months, breathing didn't feel like a battle anymore. I started small conversations at work, grabbed a coffee with someone once, even smiled without forcing it. It wasn't love. It wasn't even close, but it was a step forward. For the first time, Brooke didn't haunt my every thought. 9 months later, I felt steady. Not healed completely, but steady. I wasn't chasing answers. I wasn't waiting for closure. I had already carved out my own. And then she came back. It was a Thursday. I had just finished work, dusted with sawdust, groceries in my arms. As I unlocked the door, I heard my name, Michael. I froze. She was standing there. Brooke. Same face, but worn down like life had hollowed her out. Her eyes were swollen, and in her hands was a letter. I've been trying to find you, she said, voice trembling. I nodded, heart pounding, but stayed silent. She held out the letter. Everything I never said. Everything I should have told you. I didn't take it. Not because I despised her, but because I refused to return to the place where her choices defined my worth. Tears streamed, and for a split second, the old me stirred. The one who would have invited her inside, made tea, given us another chance. But that man no longer existed. Months of pain had reshaped me. I lied about Jason, she confessed through sobs. I thought I needed more, but it was nothing. He didn't want me, just the thrill. I ruined us. You were the only one who ever made me feel alive. I looked at her, and for a flicker of time, I saw the woman I used to love. But she wasn't her anymore, and I wasn't me anymore either. You didn't destroy us, Brooke, I said quietly. You destroyed yourself. Her face crumbled. I'm sorry, she whispered. I nodded. I hope you heal, but I'm not yours anymore. Her tears came harder, but I didn't reach out. That wasn't my place. She walked away just as I had nearly a year earlier. Inside, I set down the groceries and sat beside Penny. My chest ached, but not with longing this time. It hurt because the last thread tying me to her had finally snapped. And in the empty space it left behind, there was peace. If someone ever tells you they found more outside of what you built, let them go. Don't plead. Don't chase. Just walk away, because the best thing you can ever discover isn't an answer or even revenge.